Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Stephanie and today's tutorial is going to be on a full coverage foundation routine, and welcome to you who are new to my channel and welcome back those of you who've watched my other videos and subscribe. Thank you all for taking the time to watch my video, and as I said, today it's going to be a full coverage foundation routine that I use on a daily basis. This is the look that I created. It's really great for any of you who like that full coverage look but don't want to look cakey, and also those who like a full coverage look to cover up any discolourments, scars or any sort of blemishes on the skin. It's just a really good look. You can mix it up and do this base and then sort of change the lip colour out or the eye colour for an evening look. This is a daytime look, but this routine is for the base, which means you can just basically do whatever you would want to do on the eyes and lips. It's just about getting a really solid, strong, full coverage base to give flawless, fresh looking skin. So I'm going to get started with the tutorial, and if you do like it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Let's get started. So first of all, on a clean face, I'm going to take MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus, and I'm going to spritz this on the face, and this is just to bring hydration and get us ready for the primer. So for primer, I'm going to use the Becca Backlight Primer Filter, and it looks like this. This is a really great primer for illuminating the skin but not looking too greasy. It just sort of gives you a luminosity, and it is really good for lots of different skin types. So I do have combination skin, which means I do have sort of a more oily T-zone and then a little bit more dry in other areas and little bits of normal skin, and I find it a really, really great primer. So on to foundation. I'm going to use Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation, and I'm using it in shade Ivory. It's just a really great full coverage foundation, and it looks like this. I've really been loving this over the last month or so since I've had it, and it's definitely my go-to foundation for a full coverage look. So I'm just going to draw 4 stripes in each area of my face. So 4 on the forehead, 4 on each of the cheeks, and then 4 along the chin, and then 3 on the nose, and then 2 above the upper lip area. And then I'm going to blend this out, and I'm going to use my Morphe M439 brush. I really love this brush because it does really pack on the coverage with your product, so it just spreads out the product instead of absorbing it up into the brush, because it is synthetic, which means it just sort of actually keeps the product on your face, which is really important when you're creating a full coverage foundation look. I do love this Morphe brush. It's a great shape with the little dome shape. It means that it just blends out really smoothly and covers a lot of the face quickly as well. So I'm doing tapping motions and then small circular motions, so that we're not wiping, we're more tapping and then small circular motions to blend that out. So that is the foundation blended out, and the thing I do love about that Hourglass Vanish Stick is just that it doesn't look cakey on the skin, but it does give really great coverage. And also you can get it at Sephora or also at Space NK for those of us in the UK who don't have Sephora. So for that flawless full coverage foundation routine, I then go on and conceal. So my current favourite concealer for full coverage is this Kat Von D Locket concealer, and I'm in shade L3 Warm. So they've got lots and lots of shades, which is also really great, and it comes with a little stick, so you don't need a concealer brush. You can just tap this on, and I will draw sort of a large triangle shape under the eye, so that we're getting a lot of coverage here and doing generous amounts of concealer. So we're doing like a triangle shape under the eye, and we're bringing that out sort of slightly past the eyebrow, wherever your eyebrow ends, so that we're just really opening up the under eye area, and then repeat on the other side, making sure that you get a lot of product in your most problem areas. So for me, that's the inner corner part of my under eye, so sort of here and here is my darkest areas and worst black rings. So this concealer is really great, and you can buy it from Debenhams for us in the UK, and then you can get it on Sephora's website as well, or for those in other countries that have Sephora, you can get it, or also at the Kat Von D website. So I will just take that on the eyelid as well, because I do always use my concealer as primer as well. And then just to highlight, we bring that down the centre of the nose, and then a little bit on the chin, and a little bit through the eyebrows. And if you say have any sort of like pimples or anything like that, or any sort of enlarged pores, this concealer, I find it really sits really smoothly over any fine lines, any sort of blemishes, so it really looks really lovely when it's all blended out. So I'm going to take my Real Techniques dampened sponge, and I'm going to tap out that concealer. And here you just want to do tapping motions left to right, so that you're pressing the product into the skin instead of sort of wiping. You want to press it in so that it sits on top of the skin and looks nice and flawless, full coverage face. Next, to set the concealer, I'm going to go in with the original RCMA no colour powder, and it's just really great for being an affordable, also really lovely quality just white translucent powder. I just pat this on the back of my hand, and then I take my dampened Real Techniques sponge, and I'm just going to put that powder onto the sponge like this, and then we're just going to go generously and pat this under the eye where we put the concealer. So we're going to do a bit of baking, as baking just really, for me, I find that it just makes the under eye just sit in place and look really smooth and fully concealed. So I do really recommend this, and you don't have to leave it on for ages, as long as you can pack on quite a lot of the product and then leave it while you finish the rest of your makeup. And I do just put it on my eyelids as well. And I find this technique just really brightens up the under eye, keeps the concealer in place and really locks it in. So yeah, there are other translucent powders out there that I do like as well, like Laura Mercier translucent powder is really good, but this RCMA one's actually a lot more affordable. It's only like £13, and you can buy this online from a number of different retailers, because I think originally it is for film makeup that they use this powder, so it looks lovely in photos and things like that. So just taking a little bit more of that powder, like I said, you have to go quite generous for the baking, and I'm going to take that and just bake everywhere where I put the concealer. So a little bit on the chin, we'll do a little bit of baking, and then we'll take a little bit down the centre of the nose, and then a little bit in between the eyebrows where we put the concealer. And I always like to put the concealer more than just under my eyes, even though I'm not trying to hide blemishes, but for this full coverage look, I just feel like the concealer just gives that little extra layer of coverage on top of your foundation. So this is how you look at the moment. Then with the rest of the powder on the back of my hand, I'm just going to take the sponge, but on the other side, and then I'm going to go more lightly and just tap along the cheeks, so that we're doing a little bit of baking down the side, just along the jaw area. So I like to bake down here as well when you're doing a full coverage, because often people do touch, or well, I do anyway, like you might rest your hand on your cheek, or just knock it more with, like when you're putting clothes on and stuff like that with different tops. So it's just good to bake down there, but in a more light way. So with the rest of that powder now, I'm going to take a Pro Sephora brush in number 91, a big feathery brush, and we're going to take just a lighter touch, and then we're going to put that translucent powder just in the places where we haven't done the baking, so that we ensure that the rest of the face is set properly. As with the full coverage foundation and look, I always find it's really important to do a good amount of powder to set it, so that it just stays in place. And if you've got any oily skin, then this will absorb up any of the excess oil and keep your foundation in place much longer. And if you've got dry skin, because I do have combination skin, I find that this powder doesn't dry me out in the areas that are dry, and it also does absorb oil where I have the oily T-zone area. So I do really highly recommend that RCMA, and I will link it below where you can buy it, because I know that they don't really sell it in like your local, like for us in the UK, like you can't get it in Boots or Superdrug and stuff like that, or in department stores like Debenhams or House of Fraser. So we're just going to let the under eye bake for a little bit longer, and I'm now going to go in and do a little bit of contouring, and I'm going to use, I've got so much powder on it now, the contour kit light to medium from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I really like this. You can see that they've got the contour colours and the highlight colours, and we'll come back and use these highlighting colours in a little bit. I'm going to go in with this medium sort of cool tone contour colour in the middle, and I'm going to take it on my little, like it's basically a little contour brush, and this was bought from Amazon, and it is going to be a dupe for the NARS, the NARS little cheek blending brush. So I'm just going to take some of that middle contour colour, and I absolutely love this Anastasia powder contour kit. They do a cream version of it for any of you who want a nice cream contour. This is a really great powder one, and also they come in different shades. So this is a light to medium one because I am fair skinned, but you can get more tanned ones or darker skinned ones, which is really great for those of you with different skin colours. So yeah, we're just going to go along from the ear down towards the cheek, and we're just going to do sort of a little sweeping motion, and we're coming down towards sort of halfway down the cheek. I realise we're now going into a little bit more contouring in this video as well as a full coverage, but I feel like with full coverage you can't just leave your face with a full coverage foundation unless you like that look, but I like to bring a little bit more dimension, hence why I'm bringing in the contour and finishing off what I would normally do when I do a full coverage foundation look. And then I'm going to take a little bit of that number 1 colour, which is a little bit warmer, and then we're going to take that on that same brush. We're just going to put that along the contour line of the cheek, and then we'll take that little warm colour as well, and then bring a little bit along the jawline just to contour the jaw area and give it nice and sharpness. Then we are going to blend this out a little bit more, and I'm going to use my nice Morphe E2 bronzing brush, and we're just going to soften that contour a little bit so we don't have any product on it. It's just blending that out a little bit more and softening up the contour, because we want it to be contoured but not too sharp here. It's sort of a softer contour look. And then I'm going to take a little bit more of that warm one, number 1 on that same brush, and we're going to contour just a little bit up on the temples at the side, so bringing it from the hairline and then just bringing it down, and this will slim out your face, or if you've got a larger forehead like me, it just sort of helps your forehead look a little bit less massive. So yeah, bringing it up on the hairline and then just down the side of the temples, and then bringing it along the very top of the forehead right up near the hairline. And then again we will take that E2 brush from Morphe and we'll just soften that contour. So guys, we are now going to wipe away our baking, and I'm going to just take that big fluffy brush number 91 from Sephora, and we're just going to wipe away that baking from under our eyes. So now you can see that it's nice and bright, nice and lifted looking, and very, very much set the foundation concealer. So to bring a little bit more brightness, I'm going to go back to that Anastasia palette. I'm going to take this middle one, the banana shade. I'm taking this on a tapered highlighting F35 brush from Sigma, and we're just going to tap that under the eyes, and this is just to bring a bit more yellow brightness to the under eye area. You can buy this set from Cult Beauty, or for us in the UK, Cult Beauty sells it, and also you can get it from Sephora website. So just tapping that to bring brightness to the under eye, and we'll bring a little bit on the chin where we put the concealer, and again through the centre of the eyebrows where we put the concealer, just to bring brightness. So that is the foundation with a little bit of contour done. I am going to go and finish off. I'm going to quickly go and do my blush and eyebrows and eyes and lips, and then come back and show you the finished look. So everyone, this is the finished full coverage foundation routine. I just went and finished my lips. I did some lipstick, some eyebrows, a little bit of shadow, eyeliner and mascara, just to finish up the full coverage face so that it all balances out. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Also do leave me a comment below on what your favourite full coverage foundation is, or your favourite full coverage concealer. I always like to hear what other people's favourites are. I just told you about 2 of my favourites, but yeah, it's always great to hear what you guys think as well, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!